Welcome to Heaven of Stories. Today, we are taking you on an incredible journey through time to discover the fascinating story behind the sport loved by billions of people around the world. A sport that began thousands of years ago in simple forms and evolved over centuries into a global phenomenon worth billions of dollars. How did football begin? Who created its rules? And how did it grow from a street game into a worldwide spectacle watched by nearly half of humanity? This is the complete story of the history of football. The origins. Thousands of years ago. When people hear the word football, most assume the sport was invented in England. But the truth is much older. The idea of kicking a ball existed thousands of years before modern football was created. In ancient China, over 2,000 years ago, there was a game called Cuju. Chinese soldiers played it as part of their military training. The concept was simple. A leather ball had to be kicked into a small target without using the hands. Many historians consider Cuju to be the earliest known form of football. At roughly the same time, other civilizations had similar games. The ancient Greeks played a game known as episkairos. The Romans played a game called harpastum. Although the rules varied, all of these games involved moving a ball with the feet and competing between teams. However, they were still very different from the football we know today. Football in the Middle Ages. As centuries passed, ball games spread throughout Europe. During the Middle Ages, a chaotic version of football emerged. Entire towns would take part. Sometimes, hundreds of people were involved in a single match. There were no clear boundaries. Games could stretch across streets, fields, and even entire villages. The objective was simple: move the ball to a designated location. Matches often became extremely rough. People pushed and shoved. Windows were broken. Shops were damaged. Serious injuries were common. Because of this, several English kings attempted to ban the game. In the 14th century, King Edward III ordered restrictions on football because it caused disorder and distracted young men from military training. Yet despite these bans, the sport continued to grow. The birth of modern football. In the 19th century, schools across England played different versions of football. The problem was that every school had its own rules. Some allowed players to carry the ball with their hands. Others strictly prohibited it. This made organized competition difficult. Everything changed in 1863. Representatives from several clubs and schools gathered in London. There, they established the Football Association. For the first time, a standardized set of rules was created. Carrying the ball by hand was prohibited. This moment officially separated football from rugby. Many historians consider 1863 the birth year of modern football. Football spreads around the world. As the British Empire expanded, British sailors, merchants, and workers traveled across the globe. Wherever they went, they brought football with them. The sport reached South America. It reached Asia. It reached Africa. Soon, local communities embraced the game and made it their own. In countries like Argentina and Brazil, football became part of the national identity. Across Europe, new clubs appeared rapidly. Within a few decades, football had become a global sport. The creation of FIFA. As football's popularity grew, the need for an international governing body became clear. In 1904, FIFA was founded in Paris, France. At first, only a handful of nations joined. But over time, membership expanded dramatically. Today, FIFA oversees international competitions and maintains the official rules of the game. The first World Cup, although international matches had existed for years, there was no true global tournament. That changed in 1930. FIFA organized the very first FIFA World Cup in Uruguay. Only 13 nations participated. Yet the tournament was historic. Stadiums were packed with enthusiastic fans. People followed the matches with excitement. In the end, Uruguay became the first nation to lift the World Cup trophy. And few could have imagined that this tournament would eventually become the biggest sporting event on earth. Football's golden age. After World War II, football entered a new era. Modern transportation made international travel easier. At the same time, television brought matches into people's homes. For the first time, millions could watch games live. Legendary players emerged and changed the sport forever. Among them were Pelé, Diego Maradona, Johann Cruyff, Franz Beckenbauer. These athletes became more than footballers. They became global icons. The professional revolution. In recent decades, football has transformed dramatically. Clubs became massive businesses. Player transfers reached astonishing values. Broadcasting rights generated billions of dollars. Competitions such as Saudi Arabia, the Premier League, La Liga, the UEFA Champions League, became some of the most watched sporting events in the world. The era of global superstars. The 21st century introduced a new generation of football legends. Among the most famous are Cristiano Ronaldo, Lionel Messi. Their rivalry captivated fans for more than a decade. Millions debated who was the greatest player of all time. Their achievements became an unforgettable chapter in football history. Football today. Today, more than 250 million people play football worldwide. Billions watch its competitions every year, from small neighborhood fields to the largest stadiums on earth. The essence of the game remains unchanged. A ball, a dream, and a competition that unites people from different cultures, languages, and backgrounds. And that is how a simple game played thousands of years ago evolved into the world's most popular sport. From ancient China to modern World Cup stadiums, football has continued to grow, inspire, and bring people together like no other sport. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for Heaven of Stories. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next story.